It will arrive with a complete 90-day order, and if it doesn't reduce your pain, we'll pick them up for free. 800-635-8412.
There you see War Eagle getting ready for Auburn and Texas A&M. We'll get you out there in about 5 minutes for kickoff. What a first year it's been for Kevin Sumlin, Texas A&M head coach, as he chatted with our Allison Williams.
Coach Sumlin, you've had a lot of success as a head coach on the road. 9-0 in your last 9 road games going back to last year at Houston. What do you think is key to preparing your team for a road test, especially in an SEC venue like here at Auburn?
Well, we try to keep it all consistent. We try to do things the same way, get in a routine. The football field's still 100 yards long, so we use kind of the Hoosiers mentality, you know, the old where he measures the basketball goal 10 feet off at the state championship. We do a lot at home. We get on the bus and come play, and our guys look forward to we talk about creating our own energy on the road, and our guys have done a good job with that.
I would imagine a lot of that energy comes from your quarterback, Johnny Manziel. What have you seen from him as a freshman and his ability to make plays?
Well, you know, he's a guy who has a lot of fun, plays with a lot of passion. He's only played 7 games. He's getting better every week, you know, but certainly we need him to continue to play at a high level for us to be successful. To play at a high level, probably needs to eliminate some of the turnovers, 6 INTs the last 2 weeks. What's your message there? Our message is last week, you know, of those 3 of them, 2 of them weren't his fault. We've got some route breakdowns. We had one bounce off of a receiver. The 10 other guys on the field need to make our offense quarterback friendly. They need to do their job. And that way, you know, Johnny doesn't have to press so much. So just do your job, and we got a guy who can distribute the ball and make plays on his own, but we need the other 10 guys to step up and really take the pressure off of him. Coach Sumlin, thanks so much for the time. Back to you guys.
All right, Allison, Coach, thank you. Texas Tech and Kansas State. Some people thought upset alert potentially. Some people on an early morning radio show may have suggested it. Third quarter, K-State up 13-10. Then the wheels fell off for Tech. Colin Klein to Tremaine Thompson, touchdown. 20-10. Colin Klein, at this point, motoring away from Texas Tech, motoring away with a Heisman Trophy. Should Alabama somehow fall tonight, Kevin, we may be looking at the #1 team in the country right there.
Hats off to Kansas State's defense. I mean, what they've done, they put the clamps on Texas Tech, shut them down totally. Really impressive.
Klein, 4 total touchdowns, by the way. Texas and Kansas. This was not supposed to go this way for Matt Brown's team. That goes for the game. That goes for the season. Joe Bergeron, touchdown, 7-0. But then they're down in the 4th, 14-7 to Kansas. Marquise Goodwin, touchdown.
A little explosion there from the Texas offense, but not what we've seen in recent weeks. We've seen a lot more from them under David Ash.
And then Case McCoy replaces David Ash. He's in, sets up, rather, a touchdown pass from McCoy to Mike Davis. Texas wins. It was ugly. Now they've got to deal with who's their starting quarterback. We will see this week. USC and Arizona. Kadeem Carey, Arizona, moments ago, in for the touchdown. They went for 2, did not get it. USC now trailing 32-28. Told you earlier, showed you Ohio University gone from the ranks of the undefeated. Rutgers taking on another MAC team, Kent State. And look at the golden flashes. Now, we told you Duke was bowl eligible, obviously first time since 1992. Kent State is for the first time since 1972. Gary Nova picked off there, you saw that. I said Duke 92, Duke 94, Kent State 72. Touchdown, Kent State beats Rutgers, so Rutgers no longer undefeated. Florida trying to stay undefeated. But Aaron Murray finally getting the Dogs in the end zone here in the second half. They've had multiple opportunities. Touchdown, Georgia. Extra point is good, and it's now 17-9. So Florida's in trouble. Ohio lost, Rutgers lost, Penn State and Ohio State, we haven't even shown you that. That's a 7-7 game. We're setting up for a wild day, and it could be a wild night in college football.
Really exciting day, second half of football today. Florida not looking so well right now. 5 turnovers. If either team loses this game, you can blame it on the offense.
No doubt about it. Marquise Lee, Pac-12 record, 299 receiving yards for USC at last check. That's probably even going up. My goodness. Enjoy A&M Auburn.
You're watching college football on ESPN, presented by 5-Hour Energy.
It's been an impressive first year in the SEC for the Aggies of Texas A&M. Tonight they visit Jordan-Hare Stadium for the first time. And they're going to face a proud but wounded Auburn program. Tigers making their way onto Pat Dye Field here at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Number 20 Texas A&M and Auburn from the Plains. Welcome to the SEC on ESPN. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Auburn alongside my partner, former Georgia All-American Matt Stinchcomb. I'm Clay Matvick. Allison Williams will be along shortly. Texas A&M gets a win tonight, and they're bowl eligible. And Matt, by all metrics, this first season in the SEC has been a great success for the Aggies, in large part because of their dynamic freshman quarterback. Meanwhile, Auburn's quarterback play at times has been ugly.
Yeah, the Southeastern Conference is known to be a defensive-minded conference. Puts a premium on your quarterback play, and you see what A&M has gotten from Johnny Manziel as a freshman. Basically twice the offensive output, not only in yardage, but in points scored versus the entire Auburn offensive unit. Quarterback play has been pivotal. It always is. Auburn has struggled in that area so far this season.
A&M starts a rugged three-game SEC road stretch tonight, and Kevin Sumlin has some concerns. Here's Allison.
Well, Clay, Coach Sumlin knows a thing or two about winning road games. He's won his last 9 straight as a head coach. But for that streak to continue, he needs his high-scoring offense to clean things up a bit. In the first 4 games of the season, the Aggies only had 1 turnover. They've had 13 in their last 3 games, 6 of those INTs by Manziel. He said he needs this offense to be more quarterback-friendly for Manziel so he doesn't have to press, can distribute the ball and make plays, which we know Johnny football is all about.
All right, Allison. And Gene Chizik in his 4th year as Auburn's head coach. It's amazing that it's just 2 years since he was holding the national championship trophy. It's been an awful season on the field. And to make matters worse, he lost his mom, Rita, on Monday. She was 86 years old. The students held an impromptu rally this week to get behind their Auburn Tigers. They have not given up on this football program.
Well, you hit it earlier, Clay. This is a very proud program. It's very much family-oriented. They talk about all in, the Auburn family. Now, I've experienced that as a player. You can come in and beat the Auburn Tigers, and they'll be chanting, "It's great to be an Auburn Tiger," on the way out of the stadium. This is a proud fan base and a proud program.
Auburn won the toss. They've deferred. Texas A&M will get it first. Cody Parkey, who has 18 touchbacks on the season, has it on the tee for the Auburn Tigers. Texas A&M has Trey Williams back to return, and we're underway on the Plains. Here's Williams from the 5. Stumbles a little bit across the 15. Across the 25, close to the 30-yard line, as we take a look at tonight's impact players, brought to you by Lee Jeans. Here's Texas A&M star players.
Well, it'll come as no surprise, Johnny Manziel and what he's meant to the A&M offense, but let's keep in mind, one of the best offensive lines that you'll see in the country, A&M, and it starts with Luke Jokel at the left tackle position, and then DeMontre Moore, the defensive end for A&M, has really come on this season, leads the country in sacks and tackles for loss. Look for him in the Auburn offensive backfield tonight.
Ben Molina in the backfield with Johnny Football, as the number 20 team in the country makes its first play from scrimmage. It is Molina in the flat on the catch and gets it out to the 36-yard line, where Jake Holland gets the start at middle linebacker for Auburn tonight, a gain of 6.
And you can see already A&M likes to run a lot of plays. They'll get over the football all night long and try to rattle off plays quickly.
On 2nd and 4, high snap. Manziel's going to try and run, and he's quickly hit, doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage. Angelo Blackson, the defensive tackle for Auburn, makes the hit, and Auburn has had a lot of trouble at the D tackle position this year. That's a good early sign for the Tigers.
Did an excellent job. One of the things Brian Van Gorder wants is penetration from his interior guys. Blackson's able to play off that offensive block, does a good job on Abwehi, makes the tackle for a loss.
Here's a 3rd down and 5. A&M leads the SEC in 3rd down conversions over 51%. Manziel, Cox fires, complete, flags down. At about the 40-yard line, there's Mike Evans, the freshman receiver. Close to 1st down. We'll see what the penalty flag's about. Matt Austin, our lead official here tonight. That's going to go against Auburn.
Offside, defense, 5-yard penalty, results in a 1st down.
And you see it at the top of the screen. They bring Darren Bates on a blitz. Jake Matthews gets his hand on him, though. He got an early jump on it. This is something you have to be careful, something to watch all night long is you have to be very choosy when you pressure Johnny Manziel because of his scramble ability.
Well, he is fun to watch, especially when he ad-libs. 1st down from the 40. A&M on its first possession, another completion. And out near midfield at the 49-yard line, there's Evans again, a gain of 9 as Johnny Football, number 3 in the nation in total offense. Taking the snaps tonight again, the number 2 rusher in the SEC at just over 100 yards per game. On 2nd and 1, it's Ben Molina. He's got the 1st down and more into plus territory for the first time, down to the 45.
You see Johnny Manziel there operating this offense as a freshman quarterback. You know, a lot of his improvisation this season has come in handy, but he still has to operate this fast-paced offense that Kevin Sumlin brought to College Station when he came from Houston. So far, he's done an excellent job with it this season.
4 wide here, he's going to check. Molina in the backfield. On 1st down, inside handoff, Molina. Good run, close to a 1st down, but there's a flag down at the 45-yard line. Demetrius McNeil made the tackle. He may have another offside call.
Offside, defense number 25. Penalties decline, 2nd down.
Darren Bates, the weak side linebacker and defensive coordinator. Brian Van Gorder said our guys are young, they're learning, but they still make a ton of mistakes.
Yeah, you know, they had difficulty lining up last week versus Vanderbilt, all the more difficult versus a fast-paced offense like A&M.
2nd and 1, Molina, 1st down. Cuts it back up inside the 30-yard line, down at the 28. Molina, Kristen Michael, Trey Williams will probably see all 3 in the A&M running attack tonight.
Well, collectively, A&M does a great job. All 3 of their running backs, including Johnny Manziel, when you add them up, 5.5 yards a carry, leads the SEC this season.
First down from the Auburn 29. Opening drive for A&M. Michael, his first carry. The veteran of the A&M backfield. He is a big bruiser. Casanova McKenzie makes the tackle, but it's a gain of 9, close to another 1st down as A&M is really controlling the line of scrimmage, Matt.
They do an excellent job with that, and because of the spread nature of their formations, 4 wides, 5 wides, they'll empty the backfield. It removes defenders from the tackle box. Fewer opportunities to make the tackle on a ball carrier between the tackles.
Here's Michael. And he's got the 1st down out at the 16-yard line. The last 4 games, Texas A&M has scored a touchdown on its opening drive, and they're well on their way here.
And we've seen them. They did it last week versus LSU. This team starts off hot, and as they accumulate plays, it wears down on defenses. It's incumbent to start fast versus this offensive A&M.
9 play, the drive play fake on the run. Manziel to the end zone. Touchdown. Ryan Swope, the senior receiver, with a 16-yard touchdown reception and an impressive opening drive by the Aggies.
Take a look at Auburn. here, and because of the play-action fake, they've run the ball well early. That opens up the play-action passing game, and Ryan Swope able to get open in the front corner of the end zone. If A&M can get their rushing attack established with folks other than Manziel outside of the scramble game, it makes it all the more difficult for any defense to face what the Aggies can bring to forward.
Taylor Bertolette with the extra point. A 9-play, 70-yard drive in under 4 minutes for Texas A&M as they punch the Tigers right in the mouth.
Nobody does what Papa John's does.
Get a large double bacon 6-cheese pizza topped with hickory smoked bacon and julienne cut Canadian bacon. Try one today, only $11. Or for just $1 more, choose any large pizza, even specialties.
Bye, Daddy. Bye, girls. Love you.
Daddy, we made you a video for your trip. Yeah, watch it on the airplane.
Okay.
Here you go.
Aw, thanks, girls.
Yeah. Hey, I also made you a video.
Aw, that's so sweet.
You probably shouldn't watch it on the plane. Say bye to Daddy!
Bye, girls.
Share videos instantly on the Samsung Galaxy S3, amber, brown, and black, exclusively on Verizon.
If someone asks what it feels like to drive a Jeep Grand Cherokee, tell them it's like being nestled in an 8-way adjustable, heated and ventilated seat, surrounded by a 500-watt sound system, while floating on a suspension made of billowy clouds. Or you could just hand them your keys.
Tomorrow on the U. At 1, the 13th-ranked Cardinals take on the Bearcats. Then at 3, All-American Bailey Webster leads the 8th-ranked Longhorns against the Sooners. Louisville, Cincinnati at 1, then Texas, Oklahoma at 3. Tomorrow on ESPNU.
NASCAR's Chase hits the home stretch with Brad Keselowski leading and the trophy still up for grabs. Jimmy and Denny look to overtake the 2-car on a track where trading paint is a given. The NASCAR Chase for the Sprint Cup at Martinsville. Tomorrow at 1 on ESPN.
Number 25, Ryan Swope, with his 20th career touchdown catch from Johnny Manziel, who was 3 for 3 on that drive. And Texas A&M, boy, they do a good job getting on track early in games. They've scored first now in 13 straight.
Yeah, they start hot. Look up here at the slot receiver, Ryan Swope. You got Wachaku at the bottom. And the both linebackers sync up inside off the play-action fake. And Johnny Manziel, you have to respect his ability outside the pocket. Jonathan Mincy takes a bite. He's left one-on-one with the safety outside. So they end up with a touchdown, and A&M marches right down the football field. And they were basically able to do just about whatever they wanted offensively on that first drive. Not the first time they've done that so far this season.
In A&M's 2 losses, both Florida and LSU figured out a way to contain Manziel, to slow the offense down. And it appears already here tonight that's the same conundrum for Auburn. Taylor Bertolette. And we have a touchback as Auburn will start at the 25-yard line. We take a look at the impact players for Auburn, presented by Lee.
Well, Trey Mason is a guy that, in visiting with Auburn, they want to get more carries to him. He's only been over 100 yards once so far this season. Darren Bates, we've already talked about for all the wrong reasons, but he's a guy that can help them versus this fast-paced offense. And Kerry Lemonier is a guy that Corey needs to get into the backfield, but he doesn't need to be flushing Johnny Manziel and getting him outside.
There's Clint Mosley making his 3rd straight start for the Auburn Tigers. This position has been a troubled one. Brandon Fultz went in motion. He's the tight end. Mosley wants to throw on first down, and it is complete to C.J. Uzuma. That's going to be a first down catch, a gain of 11 yards, a converted quarterback. They like the tight end's future. As you look at Mosley, they're going to say that was actually incomplete, Matt.
Yeah, it looked like it skipped there, as it got to the tight end. But part of it, too, we got to keep in mind, Clint Mosley, as you look at his numbers, one of the better receivers that Auburn has is Philip Lutzenkirchen. He's no longer available, a hip injury that ended his season. You see there.
Well, that's close.
Well, it looks like the ball, before he controlled it, touched the grass. It moved incomplete.
One official said it was a catch. The other one overruled him. 2nd down and 10 for Auburn. And Trey Mason nowhere to go. It's a gain of barely a yard. There's no clear #1 running back for Auburn, but Trey Mason the last couple of weeks, as you pointed out, starting to carry more of the load for the Tigers.
Yeah, and they need to be more successful on early downs, maybe getting him the ball more often. We see that an incomplete pass would have been a first down if it were a reception. This is the type of offense so far, as much as they've struggled, they have to stay on schedule. That does not include 39 situations.
They've been awful, as you can see, on 3rd down this year. 28%. Mosley, pocket collapsing, down he goes, sacked inside the 20-yard line by Sean Porter, whose sack numbers are down this year. He had 9.5 of them last year. A great pass rush guy from the linebacker spot.
You see Mark Snyder, the defensive coordinator for Texas A&M. He's a pressure guy, brings a lot of fire zones. But at his disposal, he has 2 great pass rushers, really. You see Sean Porter, this time just beating Patrick Miller, true freshman at right tackle around the edge. A lot of young faces in this Auburn offensive front.
When the offense struggles, the punter gets more work. That's the case for Stephen Clark, leading the SEC in the number of punts. That was his 43rd there for Auburn, and only 3 of his punts have been returned. That's the case as Dustin Harris calls for the fair catch. Johnny Manziel has yet to throw an incompletion. Led the Aggies on an opening score on their first possession. 7-0 Texas A&M. We're back in Auburn in a moment.
New Pink Lemonade 5-Hour Energy? 5-Hour Energy supports the Avon Foundation for Women Breast Cancer Crusade. So I can get the energized feeling I need and support a great cause? I'm sold.
Pink Lemonade 5-Hour Energy.
Yeah, and a portion of every sale goes to the Avon Foundation for Women Breast Cancer Crusade.
I'm sold.
New Pink Lemonade 5-Hour Energy. Get the alert, energized feeling you need and support breast cancer research and access to care.
A friend told me about Gazelle.com.
They paid me cash for my used iPhone.
Cash I used to get a new one.
I can't believe how simple it was.
I was surprised how much I got.
They even bought my broken iPhone.
And they paid the shipping too.
I got paid fast.
Couldn't have been easier.
So what's your iPhone worth?
What's your iPhone worth?
What's your iPhone worth?
Find out now at Gazelle.
That's Gazelle.com.
This is SEC football. You don't cheer for your team. You live for your team. Passion is worn like a badge of honor. So everyone knows what side you're on. But also because it looks good. The SEC on ESPN collection. Proud to be SEC. Apparel and hats available at Dick's Sporting Goods or online at dicksportinggoods.com. Every season starts at Dick's.
ESPNU College Football Primetime is presented by New Pink Lemonade 5-Hour Energy. Great new taste, same great energy. There's Toomer's Corner here in Auburn. And you can see the trees there off in the distance. They're not looking so good these days. Neither is this Auburn football team. And this is more bad news for the Tigers.
Well,
their starting quarterback is getting work done.
Coming into this season, they talked about Clint Mosley had issues with his throwing arm. There's a reason why they went with Cal Frazier. Now, Cal Frazier's banged up. Might be Jonathan Wallace time. We'll see a lot of zone read offense if that's the case.
All right, A&M going back to work on offense. They've got it at their own 33-yard line, leading 7-0. There's Johnny Manziel. 3 for 3 on the first drive. He's complete to Mike Evans again. Well, I tell you, Evans is an impressive redshirt freshman. Leads A&M in receiving. 42 catches for well over 600 yards.
We saw him make a circus catch versus Ole Miss a couple of weeks ago on a game-winning touchdown drive. Kevin Sumlin and Cliff Kingsbury got to be excited about those two freshman performers.
2nd and 3, they go back to the ground. Kristen Michael, he'll get the first down. As Demetrius McNeil makes the tackle. This offensive line for Texas A&M, we've touched on it a bit. Great tackles, probably the 2 best in the country.
Well, they had a pretty legit challenge last week versus Sam Montgomery and Barkevius Mingo of LSU. But you see, they just keep climbing the rankings because of their performances versus these SEC defensive ends.
Luke Joko on the left, Jake Matthews on the right. Razzle dazzle. This is Malcolm Kennedy. Out to midfield and beyond. Kennedy, the sophomore out of Texas. A gain of 7.
Oh, Johnny Football. How about a little Johnny Magic? Nice play fake. You know, you fake the wide receiver screen. You just flip it over there on the end around. Right now, you know, the way A&M, the way they marched right down the football field, a lot of run-oriented plays, able to do some of things like that without much challenge when you get a 3-and-out on defense.
Manziel fires it out to Wachiku. First down. He tiptoes out near the 40-yard line. Wachiku is an excellent outside wide receiver. That's a gain of 10 for the senior.
You know, A&M, they spread the ball around very effectively. A lot of horizontal passing other than the touchdown pass. Spread the defense even more.
Michael bangs off a tackler or two, and he gets another first down carry. He battled injuries the last couple of years. Healthy this season, and he's making a big contribution.
Spreading the defense even more. You see, just
Michael bangs off a tackler or two.
Very physical runner. You know, he's had, you know, a couple of issues with turnovers at times. He was obviously injured last season. Physical run there.
Darren Bates, weak side linebacker, is down for Auburn. We step aside as the Aggies are driving.
It's a Thursday night doubleheader on ESPNU. At 6, the Eagles take on the Bobcats.
To the corner. Touchdown. Perfect throw from Tyler Tettleton.
Junior Sparkplug QB Tyler Tettleton has unbeaten Ohio in the BCS standings, while Eastern Michigan looks to pull off the big upset. Then at 9:15, the Blue Raiders and Hilltoppers battle for position in the Sun Belt. Eastern Michigan takes on Ohio at 6, then Middle Tennessee, Western Kentucky at 9:15. Thursday on ESPNU.
Nobody delivers more love for less than Sterling Subaru. At Sterling Subaru, we love selling Subarus for less. And we love giving top dollar for your trade. And at Sterling Subaru, 0 down delivers. That's right. We would love you to sign your name and drive away with absolutely 0 out of pocket. Plus, 0.9 APR is available on select models. Get $3,000 off MSRP on select 2012 Outbacks. Now that's what we call love. It's the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Only at Sterling Subaru.
If you're looking to move into smarter luxury, now is the time at the only Lincoln dealer in the Brazos Valley, Varsity Ford Lincoln. Luxury can be affordable with a red carpet lease from Varsity Ford Lincoln. Drive away in a 2013 Lincoln MKX for as little as $463 a month. There's no better time to experience luxury at light speed from Varsity Ford Lincoln on the bypass and College Station and on the web at varsitylincolncollegestation.com.
Good news for Auburn. Darren Bates, the veteran linebacker, ranked 2nd in the SEC with almost 11 tackles per game, able to pop up off the turf. He was shaken up moments ago, but it appears he's going to be okay.
You see, they're not a big guy. He's a good chase linebacker, though, covers a lot of ground. They need him to help get lined up. He's a veteran guy, very senior guy, versus the different looks that A&M presents.
A&M driving at the 29 of Auburn. Already up 7-0. Manziel to throw deep. In and out of the hands of Wachiku inside the 5-yard line. Jonathan Jones, the freshman corner, now he is struggling to get to his feet.
You know, Auburn defensively, you know, the injury, or at least the injury timeout to Darren Bates in the previous play. You see here Jonathan Jones hand checking. It looked like it was that second swipe that kept Wachiku from being able to hang on to the football. Pretty good coverage, and we visited with Brian Van Gorder, the defensive coordinator for Auburn, and he talked about, you know, how do you attack this A&M offense? Because if you stick in man-to-man outside, it's easy to open up some of those scramble lanes.
Let's go to Matt Schick for an update on Florida, Georgia.
Hey guys, here's your Dr. Pepper conference update. Florida down 8 with 2 minutes left. Driscoll hits Jordan Reed going in for the score, and no, Florida's 6th turnover of the day. They had 4 coming into the day. Georgia wins 17-9, now in the driver's seat in the SEC East, guys.
Yeah, that's right, Matt. They control their own destiny to win that East title for the second year in a row. They still have to play Ole Miss, and then they have to come here to Auburn. All right, so Jones helped off the field. 2nd and 10 for Texas A&M at the 29. Manziel being pressured. Bates coming in. Gets it off to Trey Williams. Williams still on his feet. And he's got a first down out at the 16-yard line as D. Ford pushed him out, but a gain of 13, and they moved the chains.
Once again, you see some of the niftiness of the quarterback play. You'll be able to evade the rush. Darren Bates clearly going to be coming on pressure all night long, it seems, from outside.
Now Williams lowers his head and gets down to the 6. Well over 100 yards of total offense for Texas A&M. And they have been very good in the red zone this year. Knocking on the door again. Ninth play of the drive, and it's Michael. Tries to get to the outside, and he is swarmed under by a host of Tigers. Jonathan Mincy, the corner, stepping up to lead the attack.
Well, on the touchdown pass, you see Jonathan Mincy. He kind of came up in run support there, does an excellent job setting the edge. And Brian Van Gorder, when he talks about the challenge of this pace, they have a chaos call for when A&M starts going their up-tempo offense to make sure they can get lined up. They keep things simple for the Auburn defense so that they know what their assignments are. No busted plays, no MAs to give anything easy to the Aggies.
3rd and 10, it's Molina. Solid run. It's not going to be enough for the first down. It's a pickup of 8 as Whitehead knocks him to the turf. So 4th down and a long yard.
See Kevin Sumlin, you know, he's going to actually go for it. He's going to go for it on 4th down. Not something that they've done a lot of so far this season, but what they like to do in short yardage situations. You'll see here, Luke Joseph Cheek comes in, and then they go tackle over. They've moved Jake Matthews. Is down here now. This is your right tackle lined up over on the left side of their offensive formation.
Manziel sprinting out. He's going to keep it. Nobody stops him. Touchdown. Johnny Football takes it in for the Aggies. That jumbo package. I don't know if Auburn was able to recognize it and make the proper adjustments. And Texas A&M leads it by 2 scores.
Well, A&M does this. Joseph Cheek, number 79 at right tackle, where Matthews usually is. It's an option look. We talk about Johnny Manziel and how badly it can hurt him. Another designed run. Not a lot of scrambles. No scrambles so far tonight. Right now, operating within their offense. And they're able to just work their way down the field for yet another score.
A 70-yard touchdown drive
remaining in the first quarter.
On the opening series. And this one a 67-yard touchdown drive in 11 plays in just over 4 minutes. Johnny Manziel and the Aggies looking good in Auburn tonight.
This is a fire that didn't destroy a home. This is a break-in that didn't devastate a family. This is the reason why. ADT. And while some companies may offer home security, at ADT, we specialize in it, helping to save lives for more than 135 years. We have more monitoring centers, more of tomorrow's technology right here today, and more value, 24/7 monitoring against burglary, fire, and high levels of carbon monoxide, starting at just over $1 a day. And now get ADT installed for just $99. This is the computer that didn't get stolen, keeping priceless photos and financial records safe. This is the reason why. You can't predict when bad things will happen, so help protect yourself with ADT. Isn't your family worth America's #1 security company? Call and get ADT installed for just $99. And ask about ADT Pulse, Advanced Home Management, here today. ADT, always there.
Let's have a little fun tonight. Let's have a little fun tonight.
Kevin Sumlin decides to go for it on 4th and short in the red zone. And not only do they convert. They get a touchdown out of Johnny Manziel.
Well, there's a lot of reasons to be confident in your offense. Also, this defense, A&M, in a lot of ways, because they're so superlative offensively, sometimes it's overlooked that this defensive unit for A&M, there was concern whether they had the depth or the size to hold up. So far this season, they've done an excellent job. The fact that they didn't even get a bye week, the defensive front's holding up very well. That gives someone more confidence.
Bertolette puts it through the end zone, a touchback. Let's go to the studio for another update with Matt.
Hey guys, a couple of updates for you. Out west in the Pac-12, Arizona up 11 until Silas Redd with the touchdown. Down 39-36 with 2.5 to go. Arizona just converted and got a first down. Might be running out the clock there. Matt McGloin, Big Ten's leading passer. Here, Ryan Shazier with the pick six. Ohio State up 14-10.
All right, Matt, thank you. And here in Auburn, Kyle Frazier on the field now as Clint Mosley dinged up. And the first snap is bobbled, dropped. He picks it up, recovers, and throws to McCaleb incomplete. Kyle Frazier started the first 5 games for Auburn and really labored. 8 interceptions and just 2 touchdowns. He's been dealing with a sore shoulder, but he's in there now, and Auburn is hoping he can help him out.
Yeah, you know, when speaking with the coaches, it seemed as if he wasn't healthy enough even to get enough reps to really compete, to get back out there at the quarterback position.
There's Ricardo Lewis. And no gain for Auburn, another third down and long situation. Let's go down to Allison.
Guys, Clint Mosley out for now with a left ankle injury. They wrapped and taped the ankle. They would not rule out a possible return for him, but for now they are going with Kyle Frazier, who, as you guys mentioned, is not 100% himself.
And the struggles with the offense continue. Here's another third down and long for Auburn as you take a look at Demontre Moore. Now on the A&M sideline. He's being attended to. That would be a big loss for the Aggies. Penalty flags down. Frazier throws. Man wide open. It's Emory Blake. He's going to be stood up short of the 45-yard line, but a big play, an explosive play for the first time tonight for this Auburn offense. A gain of 20, but it could come back.
Illegal formation on the offense. More than 4 men in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
And it will.
You know, this is what, when we were visiting with Auburn coaches, they talked about it. You know, what's holding you back offensively? What's hurting you on third downs? It's a little bit of everything. You know, is it a missed assignment by an offensive lineman? You know, is it a false start? We saw it last week versus Vanderbilt. They got a nice drive going in the third quarter. They get 2 false starts. There you go. You got a third down conversion, and now you're brought all the way back to 3rd and 15 scenario. You see there, this A&M defense doesn't give up a lot of third down conversions.
So now 3rd and 15. Frazier has time to throw, comes short to Trevon Reed. He's going to be well short of the first down. Now Stephen Jenkins makes the tackle, and we knew that Auburn would have to move the ball tonight to keep up with Texas A&M because the Aggies score a ton of points. They wanted to keep Manziel off the field, and so far in this game, they're not able to do that.
Already, you know, the scoreboard will take you out of your game plan, but so will personnel. You had seen Auburn transition at the quarterback position where it was Mosley with a little bit of Jonathan Wallace sprinkled in for the zone read. Now they got Kyle Frazier in there. He's probably not 100%. I don't know that we'll see any shots downfield like we anticipated.
Dustin Harris, one of the best return men in the country on punts, calls for the fair catch. College Football Daily, your destination for all the latest reports and comprehensive analysis. Our experts dissect all the storylines and breaking news each day. Weekdays at 1 on ESPNU. And the biggest news of today, the injury to Marcus Lattimore in that South Carolina-Tennessee game. And, well, maybe let's say the Florida loss to Georgia. That probably is even better.
Yeah, you know, from a standings standpoint, when you look at Georgia now, they are bleeding in that East Division with that big victory over Florida. Of course, they do have 2 more conference games left on their schedule, Ole Miss and Auburn.
Manziel wants to throw on first down. Dances around, steps up, and goes down. It's going to be a loss. Nosa Igwe making the tackle. There's also a penalty flag down. Jose Igwe getting the start for Auburn.
Illegal motion, number 19 of the offense, moving forward to the snap. 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
A penalty on the tight end, Michael Lamoth. And they declined that penalty.
You see Brian Van Gorder, we were talking to him about what do you do with a guy like Johnny Manziel who can create, he can change things after what basically you line up in one formation, you got a play call, maybe a downfield pass, you end up with a scramble. It's a challenge for defensive coordinators to face that type of talent.
Second down, 12, another flag down. Manziel taking a shot deep downfield, looking for Mike Evans. And that's a catch. And there's your marker down at the 34-yard line.
I think it's going to be yet another offsides.
Offside, defense, penalties decline. Play results in first down.
Keeping that foot in.
Great concentration by Mike Evans. And if you're an A&M fan, you can anticipate seeing that hook up for several years to come, freshman to freshman.
Let's start the play clock. Look at that, 11 first downs already for A&M. This is just their third series. Manziel fires to the outside, complete. And that's Swope, the 41. Mentioned Lattimore's injury in the South Carolina-Tennessee game. It's looking like he's going to be out indefinitely. Johnny Manziel praying for Marcus Lattimore.
It's unbelievable, you know, the respect that the peers in this conference have for Marcus Lattimore and what he's brought to the game. Hard to see him go down with injury again.
For the second year in a row, a devastating knee injury. But maybe the best running back in college football, and Ben Molina. Big running back play of his own right here. Jonathan Mincy brings him down at the 19, a gain of 21.
And, you know, the draw game tonight has been very good to A&M. You get pressure, Gabe Wright gets upfield. It just opens up a rush lane for Ben Molina.
Manziel complete to Swope, he escapes and dives into the end zone. Another Texas A&M touchdown.
And you can see, you know, this Auburn defense very much on their heels. It's hard to adjust not only to the pace, the playmaking ability of Johnny Manziel. And right now they're making it look easy as they tic-tac their way down the field. Last week versus LSU, they had 9 points, 183 yards in the first quarter alone. Auburn's a different type of defensive unit. It's going to be difficult for them to stop the bleeding if A&M continues to click along the way they are so far.
And Bertolette tags on the extra point. He says quickly gotten away from Auburn. Let's go back to Matt for another update.
Hey guys, here's our AT&T Player of the Week nominee. Arizona does defeat USC. It just went final, but despite the loss, Marquise Lee, 16 catches, 345 yards, with a couple of touchdowns in the 39-36 loss to Arizona. Text vote to 34763 for your chance to win a trip to the national championship. Also in the SEC, Vanderbilt trying to pick up their 4th win of the season. No better way to do it than take on UMass, winless UMass. Wesley Tate, 25-yard touchdown run. They're up 7-0 in the first.
Okay, Matt, back here in Auburn, it's 21-0 Texas A&M. That's secondary for Auburn. Well, the entire defense for the Tigers having a tough time with the Aggies offense. They are moving the ball like they're going through butter.
Yeah, A&M's done this to a lot of teams so far this season. They had a lot of success. And some of the best defensive units that you'll find in college football, certainly in the Southeastern Conference. Versus Florida, they had the Gators on the ropes early in their opener for this season. They were able to establish themselves offensively. Johnny Manziel making plays versus LSU and a very early kickoff a week ago. LSU was able to come around. Florida was able to slam the door on A&M in the second half. They weren't able to score any points. But right now, the first quarter, these fast starts continue to give A&M a tremendous advantage versus most of their opponents so far this season.
It is a windy night and chilly here in Auburn as well. You can see that flag is just popping. Winds gusting up into the low 20s miles per hour here tonight. And they're going to hold it here for Taylor Bertolette. touchback. We're talking about that outpouring of support for Marcus Lattimore. Trey Mason chiming in too on Twitter. The Auburn running back saying, I know I wear 21 all the time, but tonight it's in honor of you, Marcus Lattimore.
You know, I think it just talks about, it speaks to not only just the respect, but you look at this, it's kind of a fraternity among these players. They recognize what it takes to come back from injury and then to turn around and have your season cut short yet again in the subsequent season. It's hard to see happen, especially to a quality player like Marcus Lattimore.
Kyle Frazier still in there at quarterback for Auburn. Hands off to Mason. Number 21 get about 6 yards on the carry. Jenkins runs him out. Les Miles even had heartfelt sentiments for Marcus Lattimore today. And Clemson, the arch enemy of the Gamecocks, feeling bad for Lattimore.
In the event of injury, you throw kind of rivalries out. Check out this formation. Right tackle Patrick Miller is split out to your top of your screen in the slot.
And it doesn't pay off. Shooting in, Jonathan Stewart, the middle linebacker, with the sack.
And now, at this point, you're looking at Auburn. You just kind of throw a little bit of everything with this defense for Texas A&M. The score's gotten away from them early. See right here, this is the right tackle. True freshman Patrick Miller up at the top of your screen. Jonathan Stewart just takes a run, blitzes. Who knows if it was even a called blitz versus a formation like that. Jonathan Stewart able to get in there, get a tackle for loss. Yet another sack for this A&M defense.
26 sacks allowed by the Auburn offense. That's 6th most in the nation. Under a minute to go here in the opening quarter. On 3rd and a mile, another sack. There's Jenkins this time. And the Boo Birds starting here at Jordan-Hare Stadium.
Well, it's, offensively right now, literally nothing going well. You think back a series ago or two, and they're able to get third down conversion, but there's a linebacker in the middle of your screen here. He's going to come up on the blitz. Trey Mason, we talked about him, in protection, whiffs. Ends up getting in there, sacks Kyle Frazier, the mobile quarterback. Wasn't ready for the pressure to be in his face that quickly.
First 3 drives for Auburn tonight, and 3 3-and-outs. -10 total yards for Gene Chiswick's club offensively.
Well, we were talking with the Auburn coaching staff, and really the question was, what do you do well offensively? Well, we know what A&M does very well. They've run the football tonight with authority, done an excellent job in the draw game. The backs have been very patient, and it has paid off. A 9-play drive, 11-play drive, and then a quick one, a 5-play drive. Right now, defense on their heels for Auburn.
Johnny Manziel throwing the football 9 for 10, 107 yards passing, a couple of touchdowns, he even ran one in. This is a great start for Johnny Manziel, who had a tough week, quite frankly, against LSU last week. That'll be the final play here of the opening quarter. And now we're going to get a timeout called for by Texas A&M. Manziel asking for a chance to talk to the coaching staff. Texas A&M, they can become the 7th bowl-eligible team in the SEC with a win tonight. And this offense clicking on all cylinders. The defense looking good so far tonight. Don't forget BCS Countdown on ESPN and ESPNU tomorrow. The day after the dust has settled, our analysts will break it down. Who's going to rise? Who's going to fall? BCS Countdown tomorrow at 8:30 on ESPN, and then at 9 on ESPNU, presented by Vizio. Alabama and Mississippi State playing tonight in the SEC. The #1 team in the country, a 3.5 touchdown favorite in that game, despite the Bulldogs being 7-0, just like the Tide. Here's Manziel taking a shot. On right sideline, incomplete. As Malcolm Kennedy was the intended receiver, and that's going to do it for the first quarter. And what a first quarter for the Aggies of Texas A&M in their first ever trip into Auburn to take on the Tigers. They have really looked good. Back in a moment.
You can too, with Old Spice Champion.
Stupid, slow, dirty PC.
You know, you really should clean it up and speed it up at mycleanpc.com.
Is your computer running slow? What if you could fix it while you were online? Now you can. Just go to mycleanpc.com for your free diagnosis today. Then just activate the mycleanpc.com software to fix it in minutes. And computer specialists are available while you're online. Get rid of pop-ups and junk files. Boost your PC startup time. Even prevent annoying errors, screen freezes, and crashes.
The best thing about mycleanpc.com was it had a free diagnosis.
You know immediately what the problem is, and the problem is solved right then and there.
My computer is 100% faster. My Clean PC works.
Download your free diagnosis today at mycleanpc.com. That's mycleanpc.com.
Welcome to the SEC on ESPN.
Almost 200 yards of total offense in that first quarter for Texas A&M. They've already hung 21 on the Tigers here in Auburn tonight as we get ready to start the second. As we look at the game trends, it's been all Texas A&M. They're doing it fairly balanced tonight, just over 100 yards passing, almost 90 rushing. No turnovers either for Texas A&M.
We talked about Auburn coming into this game, how bad they were on third down, the struggles. 0 for 3. You knew it was going to be a tough start to the night. They got a conversion with Kyle Frazier in there, negated by penalty. And the Auburn offense went backwards just about the entire first quarter.
Kristen Michael and Molina in the backfield with Johnny Manziel, who wants to throw here on 2nd and 10. Has a clean pocket to work from, throws deep and incomplete intended for Evans. Let's go to Allison.
Well, guys, despite a dominating performance from the Aggies on both sides of the ball, this team knows there's a lot of football to be played. The message on the offensive benches was not to let up, to be relentless. Coaches reminding guys it could be tough sledding later on. You have to keep pounding the football. And on the defensive side, Jonathan Stewart reminding his players, hey, it's only one quarter, guys.
Yes, it is, but an impressive one. You can't deny it. It's just been ugly for Auburn here so far tonight, and this looks like a free play for A&M. This is going to be incomplete. Darrell Walker, the intended receiver along the sideline, number 11. Holsey in the coverage, but there is a marker down.
Offside, defense number 30, 5-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
That's their third time the Tigers have been offside, man.
You know, the other 2 times all come from linebacker position. The other 2 times they were trying to bring edge pressure. That time in the middle of their formation. It's a young guy trying to get a head start. I don't know if A&M has changed up their cadence. And Patrick Lewis, the center for the Aggies, handles the cadence for their offense. Doing a good job, I think, with some of these dummy counts, getting these offsides penalties. Now it's 3rd and manageable instead of 3rd and 10.
Mansell steps up, big running lane, first down and more. Walks out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. Whitehead and Holland in pursuit, but Manziel is quick, gets 17, and A&M is in business again.
Right here, Corey Lemonier, he's going to run behind Johnny Manziel. And Brian Van Gorder talked about this. You can't run behind him. You have to contain rush because of his scrambling ability.
Michael, get about 3 more. So we talked about it before. We saw LSU do it last week. We saw early in the season in the opener, Florida do it, made great adjustments against Manziel. What does Auburn got to do here?
Well, Florida just flat out stopped blitzing A&M in the entire second half, but you have to collapse the pocket. You can't splinter it, though. You don't want to pierce it because then he can leak out. You have to literally collapse the pocket around the passer.
That should have been caught. Kennedy couldn't haul it in, so it's incomplete, 3rd down.
You know, that plays into the strength of the way LSU rushes the passer. Sam Montgomery is a physical pass rusher. He collapses the pocket. What makes it hard is look at the width that you have in this pocket between your two tackles. Jake Matthews and Luke Joker keeping it wide.
4 receivers set. Swope is in the slot. Situation like this, he's usually the go-to guy. They'll try the inside handoff, and they find a seam for Christine Michael. It's a foot race, and he wins it to the end zone. 4 drives, 4 touchdowns for the Aggies.
There you almost have to go back to the 3rd down earlier in this drive. A&M's faced with a 3rd and 10 situation. You end up with yet another offsides penalty in the interior portion of the defensive front. Makes it 3rd and 5, 3rd and more manageable. And once again, Johnny Manziel able to convert, and that's what he's able to do. These Auburn fans, they came out to support this football team, but they haven't had much to cheer for, obviously, early in this one.
Christine Michael capping the drive, his 28th career rushing touchdown. And a team already in a lot of trouble, down by 4 scores.
Now get a $199 per month lease on a 2013 Nissan Altima.
Check out all the great deals at Bass Pro Shops, like Redhead 2-layer waffle Henleys for under $18. Save $50 on Lacrosse Alpha Burley waterproof boots. And bring the kids for free games, activities, and a free photo in the pumpkin patch.
Garland Shelton Volkswagen has some October deals for you. Drive away a 2013 VW Jetta with an RCD 310 radio and keyless remote with 0.9% for up to 66 months, or lease one for $159 a month. Get into the sport luxury sedan, the 2013 VW CC, loaded with lighting package, Bluetooth, 17-inch alloy wheels, and more. It's yours with no interest for up to 72 months, or lease one for only $249 a month. Get some of the best deals of the year at Garland Shelton Volkswagen.
Okay, team, we know what we've got to do to make this happen. Reynolds, you've got to bring your A game. Hunt, I'm really counting on you. Okay, we know what we need to do to make this happen.
Greg, the team's got this under control.
All fantasy aside, when it's time to get serious about buying or selling real estate, the team at Zwiker & Associates has you covered from every angle. They are 100% committed to helping you accomplish your goal.
Zwiker & Associates, always the right call.
There have been some great moments for Gene Chizik in his time at Auburn, but boy, this program has fallen on hard times this year. He was telling you and I, Matt, yesterday, in his 27 years in coaching, he has never been fired. And he is trying to stay as positive as he can. In fact, I think he's doing a great job considering the circumstances, but he knows his job's on the line.
Well, he has to know. There's really no way to hide from it, knowing the expectations at a program like Auburn, knowing the expectations that he himself helped set, in the year 2, here on the job as a head coach, able to win, go undefeated in the regular season, win a national championship, and they walked a tightrope that year. And he talked about, you're never as good as you seem, and you're never as bad as you seem, but unfortunately, it's always accentuated on the negative side of the ledger.
Here's Ontario McCaleb on the return for the Tigers, and he won't even get to the 20-yard line. There are several coaches in the SEC that are on the hot seat. We talked about Gene Chizik. Might not make year 5 here on the Plains. Derek Dooley's Tennessee Volunteers lost today to South Carolina. He's 0-5 in the SEC this year. Joker Phillips, his Wildcats 0-5 in SEC play this year. Lost to Mizzou today. And everybody knows that John L. Smith will not be back at Arkansas.
They're dropping the game to Ole Miss, and so you know that there's very likely going to be, in addition to Arkansas, some other programs that are in the coaching market. don't know if there's going to be even more, but there's only so many great head coaching candidates out there.
Frazier did not start. He's in this game at quarterback now, and on first down, finds the tight end, C.J. Uzuma, for a big game down close to the 45 of Texas A&M. Let's go to the studio.
Guys, we've seen some unbeatens go down today, and Braxton Miller trying to make sure Ohio State not one of them. Braxton Miller, nice nifty 1-yard touchdown, his second rushing touchdown of the night. They're up 28-10 at Beaver Stadium.
All right, Matt, biggest play offensively of the game for Auburn. In fact, their first down, a 38-yard completion to Uzuma. Frazier wants to throw here again. Play fake, hit as he throws, down the middle of the field, underthrown and incomplete. Sammy Coates made a great effort at the 15-yard line to bring that in. He can't do it.
That's a big completion. If Kyle Frazier can get this ball off cleanly, Mark Snyder dials up. It's a little Mike Will cross dog. The linebackers cross. They get pressure late. Reese Dismukes unable to handle the pressure from Stewart. He's able to get on the quarterback's legs. Frazier couldn't get all that he wanted on that football, and he certainly had Sammy Coates open.
Jonathan Stewart, hard hit into the back of Frazier. He has played well tonight. Here's Mason. That's going to be close to a first down. Trey Mason, such a physical runner. It's Auburn with about 500 yards rushing on the season. Let's go back and see. Did nearly make that catch, now it bounced.
Yeah, that's two. We've taken a pretty close look at it. It was the first play of the game as well. But again, you know, Auburn talked about wanting to take shots downfield. That was obviously an opportunity. But you see Trey Mason able to find some creases in this Texas A&M run defense.
White goes in motion. Play fake again. Frazier wants to run and runs right back into the coverage. Jonathan Mathis, the nose guard, makes the tackle. It's a loss of 2 on the play.
But again, you know, signs of life. You know, this is really the first foray in this entire game for Auburn where you think, okay, you know, there's some competitiveness from the Auburn sideline from the get-go early in this ball game, offensively especially, but even defensively, an inability to stop A&M on offense. Now Auburn, they have something going at least, even though they're yet again behind the down and distance at 2nd and long.
4th sack for the Texas A&M defense. On 2nd and 12, Heat again, caught by Blake. Nice move, and he's got the first down. Emory Blake, the son of former NFL quarterback Jeff Blake. Like you said, there's some traction on this drive for the Auburn Tigers.
You know, now what you want to see if you're an Auburn football fan is, can they avoid getting in their own way? They've done this in weeks past. They did it last week versus Vanderbilt. They'll get a couple of big plays, and then somehow they'll get a false start. They'll somehow miss an assignment. Once again, you see Kyle Frazier taking some shots, but delivering the football under duress.
Scott Loeffler, the offensive coordinator, making a move, bringing Jonathan Wallace in to run the Wildcat. Wallace will get a couple before he's wrapped up by Stewart. This is what Wallace does. And this is what he did in high school, run the Wildcat.
Yeah, you know, he's only attempted 1 pass this season. You know, he stepped up his involvement in the offense when they went to Clint Mosley. You see Kyle Frazier taking some shots already in this ballgame. We talked about how he might not be completely healthy with an injured shoulder, perhaps. Jonathan Wallace comes in, not only gives them that spread running attack, some of the zone reads, but also takes some hits off the other quarterback.
The zone read play to McCaleb. He keeps it. And Wallace inside the 10. Gain of 10 yards for Jonathan Wallace, and for the first time tonight, Auburn is knocking on the door.
You see there, you know, a downhill running attack. This is something that he brings to the table. Jonathan Wallace, you know, A&M is thinking load box. If they can't get numbers, certainly not too threatened with the throwing ability of Jonathan Wallace. Hadn't had an opportunity to demonstrate much of that this season.
1st and goal from the 10. He keeps it again. Wallace pushing his way inside the 5 and down to the 1-yard line. And this crowd here at Jordan-Hare Stadium waking up.
We talked about it, coming into this ball game. You got a 1-6 ball club. How proud Auburn is. You see Jonathan Wallace. He doesn't know any better. It's a true freshman. He's out there fighting for every yard that he can get. This is what Kevin Sumlin may have been talking about with his team. You stay on the gas versus squads like this. You don't want to give them reason to fight back. Auburn staging quite a drive in scoring distance.
Touchdown Auburn. Trey Mason takes it in. A 9-play drive for the Tigers. Jonathan Wallace comes in and gives the team a spark.
It's impressive. You can see Mark Snyder for A&M, very aggressive, brought some blitzes early. Kyle Frazier was able to deliver the football. Defenders in his face. Could have gotten there even quicker, in fact. He didn't have defenders hanging off of him regardless. Able to complete some passes, and Blake showed up. There was offensive player for Auburn that A&M was concerned about, and you see here, Scott Leffler doing a good job of mixing it up at the quarterback position and getting it done. And Auburn's on the board.
6th career rushing touchdown for Mason.
San Diego State, football.
USC, soccer.
Quincy University, volleyball.
At Enterprise Rent-A-Car, we hire more new college graduates every year than any other company.
And many of us played college sports too.
Like me.
Like me. And me.
Now we're all on the same team.
Yours.
Enterprise is proud to be an official corporate partner of the NCAA. Teamwork. Let us show you what that means.
Pick Enterprise.
Whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong, gotta be me. Gotta be me. I gotta be me. I gotta be me. Lost could I be, but who I am, gotta be me.
ESPNU College Football Primetime, brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. We'll pick you up. There's the Heisman Trophy that Cam Newton won a couple of years ago when he led the Tigers to a national championship. And there are a lot of similarities, at least numbers-wise, between Cam Newton and this Johnny Manziel character we're seeing take the snaps for Texas A&M.
Yeah, production only, though.
Yeah.
I mean, little Johnny Manziel versus Cam Newton, he was a good solid meal away from playing right tackle for Auburn.
That's a good point.
Maybe the most athletic tackle in the history. There's an athletic guy that they've inserted in their offense, and Jonathan Wallace. A couple of plays he's able to string together, get a successful red zone series, and come away with a touchdown.
9 plays, 82 yards, and 4:35 that scoring drive for Auburn. All right, through the 7 games prior tonight, Johnny Manziel on pace to break Cam Newton's SEC record for total offense in a season.
It's pretty remarkable when you look at those numbers and the fact that just the total yardage, and also let's keep in mind Johnny Manziel's a redshirt freshman. Cam Newton, he had a couple of years under his belt, obviously from Florida, then JUCO. He came in far more seasoned. This is a new offense, a new coach, a new conference, and a new quarterback. And Johnny Manziel has been the key engine for what they've done offensively this season.
We'll dump it off to Williams. And he's dumped at the 31-yard line by Whitehead, a gain of 6. Here's a look at the SEC West, and Texas A&M in its first season in this league. Definitely going toe-to-toe, even though they're in a tough stretch right now. Alabama and Mississippi State playing right now. This is a first down for Trey Williams, taken out at the 45-yard line. Where's Texas A&M going to be at the end of this?
Well, you know, I think that they've established themselves this year as the third best team in the SEC West. Now, some could argue Mississippi State, but from what I've seen and the games that we've covered even with A&M, I think that they could sit that they're right there, just below an Alabama, just below an LSU. They've yet to play head-to-head versus the Crimson Tide. I thought they have acquitted themselves very well so far this season.
Williams, the true freshman, making an impact in the kick return game, and as you can see in the backfield as well, he gets 6 here. As Jake Holland brings him down, second down at 4.
Yeah, you asked that. We talked to Kevin Sumlin. We said, how surprised are you with their performance so far? He's not that surprised. And again, you see the performance again tonight. Very authoritative in what they've been able to do. And he said he wasn't shocked that they've had the success that they've had so far.
He knew after that first game when they were able to battle Florida closely that this team was going to be just fine. Mansell taking a shot downfield. Hauled in by Ryan Swope. That's what he does. Over 2,000 receiving yards the last 2 seasons. He is the veteran of that receiving corps. Give him 21.
He's lethal, matched up versus a safety, and Jermaine Whitehead climbs the ladder for his quarterback, comes down with the conversion.
Back to Williams on first down, and another big run. That offensive line is blowing holes open.
Yeah, it's partly that, so obviously that's an advantage. It's partly pace. You see Gabe Wright, number 90, they're trying to get lined up at all.
Mansell's going to keep it. We haven't seen a lot of footwork from Mansell tonight because he hasn't had to improvise. But he picks up a first down this time, flag down. See how windy it is here in Auburn tonight. And the temperature dropping by the minute. It's really cooled off.
Holding, offense number 70. 10-yard penalty, repeat second down.
That's on the right guard, Cedric Ogbuehi, sophomore out of Allen, Texas. That's the first penalty on Texas A&M, and I'm sure that's making Kevin Sumlin very happy. There have been a lot of penalties in recent weeks for the Aggies.
Yeah, it's not often you could say it's their first penalty and Coach Sumlin's happy, but the fact that they made it through a quarter and a half without being penalized is actually improvement for A&M.
Mansell off his back foot drops it off to Molina, the running back, flag down. That's probably going to be a holding call. Molina dives to the end zone, and they're going to call it a touchdown, but it's almost a certainty that this is coming back.
Yeah, they'll conference. They're going to get a Ogbuehi again.
Holding, offense number 70. 10-yard penalty to the previous spot. Repeat second down.
Well, Ogbuehi's been having a pretty good sophomore season until these last 2 plays.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that holding. I'm a former offensive lineman. Unless you're just dragging his jersey off his shoulder pads, it's not holding. But I think even with my jaded eye, that was maybe a little bit generous. Either way, back-to-back penalties on Kevin Sumlin. We just touched on it. That has hamstrung them. The past couple of games, it's been turnovers, but all season they've had difficulty playing cleanly through 4 quarters.
Anything that doesn't draw blood is not a penalty as far as you're concerned against an offensive lineman.
Unless the stitches come loose, it's not holding.
Second down at 26 now. Mansell, this is what he does. He's got the first down and tripped up finally inside the 10 by Jonathan Mincy. He is dynamic.
Just when you think there might be a chance, you got him bottled up. Darren Bates does a good job. He forces him back inside. It doesn't matter. Johnny Manziel does such a good job in the open field.
Back to Williams, tries to cut back. He'll get a hard-earned 2.
This is a designed run. This is why they call him Johnny Football. Johnny, go down on the edge. And if it's not there, just make it happen. That's what he's been able to do for this offense. So far, they've been within the framework of the offense. But you see his ability to innovate and create. And once again, they get in that red area. They go to the overload look, much like they did. You see him. There's Joseph Cheek.
Has to be whistled dead before we get a playoff here. And a timeout.
Timeout, Auburn.
Called by Auburn. So Texas A&M right on the front porch of Auburn again. Just over 6 minutes to go. 28-7 A&M.
You are terrible. I can't see.
Oh, turn up the brightness.
It's already up.
Oh. Sorry, buddy. You know, some of us destroy zombies and some of us feed them.
How am I supposed to win? Your screen is like as big as my phone.
Not everything's about winning.
I like to win.
You like to whine.
Buy any Samsung Galaxy handset, get up to $100 off a second Galaxy handset of the same or lesser price, exclusively at AT&T.
There's a new class of hardest working, smoothest riding. It's got the most torque, the smoothest suspension, the best storage, class-leading comfort, and a revolutionary collection of versatile accessories. It's built on everything we've learned creating the world's best-selling utility side-by-sides. Introducing the all-new 60-horsepower Ranger XP 900. A whole new class of hardest working, smoothest riding.
NASCAR's chase hits the home stretch with Brad Keselowski leading, and the trophy's still up for grabs. Next up is Martinsville. Jimmy and Denny have great history at the paperclip.
That's it, buddy. Keep digging.
And look to overtake the 2-car on a track where trading paint is a given.
Go, 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 go. You're clear. You're clear. You're clear.
Only 4 races remain to decide the championship.
Woo!
The chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup at Martinsville, tomorrow at 1 on ESPN.
It's a Thursday night doubleheader on ESPNU.
Welcome to the SEC on ESPN.
The speed of Cliff Kingsbury's offense, Texas A&M, really puts pressure on a defense, and you could really see it on that last play before the timeout.
Yeah, they're innovative. They ran the tackle over again. You see this is Joseph Cheek. Jake Matthews is over here now. Nobody's covering Mike Evans. They've already got 11 guys on the field. And Tisharvin Bell's running on. He's the 12th defender. They're just not ready to handle it. Mike Evans was stomping in the end zone after that timeout because he knew it was an easy 6. As it was, this is the type of pressure that this offense creates on defenses.
Second and goal for Texas A&M. 3 for 3 in the red zone tonight. Here's Kristen Michael. Ball comes loose. They're going to rule him down at the 2. They're going to say he was down. And it'll bring up 3rd down and goal for the Aggies. And his knee was down. Good call. And a helmet popped off down there. So we'll have a player sitting out. That's Jake Holland, who has to go out for 1 play. He's the middle linebacker for Auburn. 3rd down and goal.
Still not overload set.
Manziel, ton of time, rolling out, flag down. Manziel's going to try and run for the pylon, reaches out and got it. What an athletic play by Johnny Manziel. There is a flag on the play.
Holding. Defense number 6. Finish decline. Touchdown.
Touchdown, Texas A&M, as Manziel got the pylon and that left arm lunging out. And 5 drives, 5 touchdowns. We might review this. Yep.
You see Johnny Manziel. He's had some difficulties with turnovers at times, a little careless with the football, but that looks like 6 points. The whole idea is you pay attention to the knee or elbow. There would probably have been his knee touching down before that ball advances. And all it has to do is break the front edge of the plane. It's hard to see because the line judge is obscuring it in that view. You see Johnny Manziel extending it with his left arm. It looks to me like the ball crossed the front edge of the plane.
There has to be indisputable video evidence to overturn the call made on the field, which was a touchdown. Gerald Hodges, very good replay official, is taking a look at this right now. He is seeing the same replays that you are at home.
You know what he might be paying attention to, or they may have wondered about, was it you know, the right hand of Johnny Manziel. If perhaps he touched down out of bounds before the ball crossed over the goal line. Also keep in mind, you know, that goal line extends for ball carriers. It extends forever, you know, but they have to establish themselves as inbounds in some form or fashion. You have to touch the pylon or somewhere inbounds before you touch out of bounds for it to still count as a touchdown. It looks like, to me anyway, from those angles, Johnny Manziel satisfies all of those qualifications.
Well, if it stands, it'll be the 4th touchdown for Manziel tonight. His 2nd running.
And you know, last week he was held out of the end zone. No passes, no rushes.
After ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
There's a touchdown for Texas A&M. Cliff Kingsbury giving Manziel a congratulatory slap on the helmet. Look at those numbers tonight for Manziel. 11 of 15 passing, 134, 2 passing touchdowns, 6 runs, 58 yards on the ground, and 2 rushing scores.
You know, he's one of those guys where, you know, so difficult to scheme against offenses with a mobile quarterback. Any defensive coordinator in the country would say that, but it makes it all the more difficult when you've got a guy like Johnny Manziel.
346 yards of offense for Johnny Manziel and company already tonight.
NASCAR's chase hits the home stretch with Brad Keselowski leading, and the trophy still up for grabs. Next up is Martinsville. Jimmy and Denny have great history at the paperclip.
That's it, buddy. Keep digging.
And look to overtake the 2-car on a track where trading paint is a given.
Go, 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 go. You're clear. You're clear. You're clear.
Only 4 races remain to decide the championship. The chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup at Martinsville, tomorrow at 1 on ESPN.
Okay, team, we know what we've got to do to make this happen. Reynolds, you've got to bring your A game. Hunt, I'm really counting on you. Okay, we know what we need to do to make this happen.
Greg, the team's got this under control.
All fantasy aside, when it's time to get serious about buying or selling real estate, the team at Zwiker & Associates has you covered from every angle. They are 100% committed to helping you accomplish your goal.
Zwiker & Associates, always the right call.
At Douglas Nissan, we'll help you find your next car and promise you'll always get the best deal around.
And going on for the month of October, you can save up to $5,850 on the 2012 Nissan Titan with Value Truck Package, or drive away today in the 2012 Nissan Frontier and save $1,500, or get 0.9% interest for 60 months.
Come see us today at Douglas Nissan and see why we're home of the nice guys.
Douglas Nissan, off of Highway 6 in College Station near University Drive.
Welcome to the SEC on ESPN.
Well, the Auburn offense finally showed some life. A 9-play touchdown drive, but then the Aggies come right back and score another time. They've had it 5 times. They've scored all 5 times, and it's 35-7. Still 5:22 to go before halftime. Johnny Manziel, 4 touchdowns already tonight. Why is he not on the Heisman list? I mean, we've got it narrowed down to these 5 guys as being considered favorites for the award, and Manziel is not there.
Well, look at the teams that these 5 guys play for, where they're ranked. Obviously, A&M spending time in the top 25 now. But nobody anticipated that coming into the season, and part of the Heisman's all about hype and preseason hype. A lot of those guys you just saw there, A.J. McCarron and others, Colin Klein, certainly earning that reputation. Nobody knew who Johnny Manziel was. The guy doesn't do interviews. We really don't know who he is other than an unbelievable offensive football player.
Bertolette puts him through the end zone for a touchback. Let's go down to Allison.
Well, I was talking to Texas A&M defensive coordinator Mark Snyder before the game about facing Johnny Manziel every day in practice, and he just kind of smiled and shook his head. He said, the kid is so talented. We'll stop the designed play, and he'll still hurt us by just being impromptu out there on the field. He has such tremendous vision. But more than that, guys, he has incredible speed. Coach Snyder said he only has 2 or 3 guys on his entire defense that can keep up with Manziel because he is just so fast.
Manziel giving defensive coordinators all over the country fits, including his own.
He's got no friends, even in the locker room. Snyder can't stand it.
Snyder, 25 years as a coach. Trey Mason on first down. A good run from Auburn. Stewart makes the tackle. And they'll move the chains. Jonathan Wallace in at quarterback again for Auburn. He seemed to give the Tigers a spark on their last possession.
Yeah, you know, he gives them another element. We talked about Frazier probably still dinged up. They've been keeping it on the ground with Wallace in the game. But certainly, this looks like a different offense and maybe energized with the young quarterback in.
Here's Wallace again. And he'll get close to 5 yards. Let's go back to that last drive for Auburn. Jonathan Wallace, the true freshman out of Phoenix City, Alabama, not that far here from Auburn.
You know, Jonathan Wallace doing a good job running between the tackles. We talked about how he got in there, largely because maybe they were trying to take some shots off of Kyle Frazier, but they got in the red zone. It was all Jonathan Wallace. Now they swap him back out, give Kyle Frazier a shot in the second long scenario.
Frazier wants to throw way over the head of Trey Mason. And Frazier has struggled in this offense, which, quite frankly, he wasn't recruited to play. Yeah, he was recruited to play in Gus Malzahn's offense, and Frazier has just had a hard time with this one.
He's struggled mightily, and you know, I think it's been well documented. And this is one of those where, you know, he should hit that pass there. I think perhaps he's, you know, feeling some of the footsteps. He took some shots in the previous offensive drive, but they certainly need him to settle down as a passer because they don't get that with Jonathan Wallace in their quarterback.
Third down and 6. Jay Prosh is the lone setback for Auburn. Now Frazier in trouble, and he's going to be dumped. A sack at the 38-yard line. There is DeMontre Moore, college football's top pass rusher. That's his 10th sack of the year.
And we've talked about Mark Snyder a little bit. He came from South Florida. They were in a 3-4 defense last year. He's standing up. You'll see him at the top of your screen. Now this guy, or rather in the middle of your screen, rather, he's got the longest arms that I've seen of a defender this season. It's one of those things where I think he's flourished because he spent time as a stand-up rusher last year. But the fact that he's had his hand in the dirt this year, the numbers have only increased, and I think he certainly helped his status for Sunday.
35-yard punt, and Texas A&M will have it at the 27. Let's go to the studio for an update at what's coming up on halftime.
Hey guys, Matt Chick here. Coming up at half, Georgia kicks Florida out of that driver's seat in the SEC East. Marcus Lattimore, a devastating injury against Tennessee today. And we'll check in on college football's unbeaten CNF.
That's a nice win for South Carolina, but if you lose Lattimore, it's going to be hard to make a BCS game now for the Gamecocks. Here's Ryan Swope. Big play again. That's his 4th catch tonight. And they've got it deep inside Auburn territory at the 23-yard line.
Coming into this game, A&M led the country in plays of 25 yards or more. And again tonight, big explosive gains, constantly keeping Auburn rocked on their heels defensively.
Designed run for Mansell. And he gets it to the 20, maybe the 19. Let's go back to that long 50-yard reception for Ryan Swope.
You know, Johnny Mansell, you know, they moved the pocket quite a bit, but he stands tall there and finds one of his favorite targets in Ryan Swope. By the time he's done with his career at Texas A&M, might be the best receiver statistically to ever play for the Aggies. And once again, he's having a big night tonight. Had a big game last week versus LSU as well.
You know, his numbers are down a little bit from last year, but it's because of Mansell's production and the emergence of Mike Evans. Still a great leader for this offense as Wachiku hauls it in. That's a gain of 4. Second catch for Wachiku. As we're under 2 minutes to go here in the half. They get up over the ball, and on 3rd and 2 they snap it, but looks like a timeout called for by Auburn before the play. 404 yards of total offense, and we're not even to halftime, Matt.
And there really hasn't been any signs of the Auburn defense having an answer for what Texas A&M is doing. We've seen a couple of instances, but not many, where Johnny Manziel's just using some of his creativity, but most of it has been either called runs, designated runs at the quarterback position. They've gotten all three of their running backs involved: Ben Molina, Trey Williams, Christian Michael. And Johnny Manziel, when he's had to, he's gotten out on the perimeter and made plays. But by and large, it hasn't been one of these scenarios, one of these games where, okay, the defense is taking away what we're trying to do, and Johnny makes something happen after the snap. The bulk of the plays and their offensive production has been, I think, what they've intended to do, which is something we visit with Cliff Kingsbury. How much is Manziel really operating your offense? He's saying, well, we don't even have all of our offense in yet. And so far tonight, Auburn hasn't demonstrated an ability to slow him down.
We got 3rd and 2 here. Play fake. Manziel now going to be chased. He'll step up. He'll run. He's got the first. And he's down inside the 10. Mincy makes the tackle. There is that elusiveness that Manziel brings to this offense. And it wasn't a designed run, but he picks up the first down.
You know, Gabe Wright does a good job. He gets upfield. This is what we talk about. You know, if he ever spills, if you are unable to keep him in the pocket, Brian Van Gorder's got to be frustrated with that, but that's what he's been doing to defenses so far this season all year long.
Molina. Touchdown, Texas A&M, and they make it look so easy. They have hung 41 points upon the Auburn Tigers. Extra point pending. We still have 1:25 to go before halftime.
You know, it's right now, watching this A&M offense, Auburn really has no answers for what they're doing offensively. Demetrius McNeil, he's a free hat in the hole, has an opportunity to make the tackle. This defensive unit had difficulties at the start of the year with tackling, but so far here tonight, this A&M offense, they've made it look almost like a scrimmage. Everybody's moving at full speed, but this is like a walkthrough almost. Demetrius McNeil unable to come up with that tackle. Ben Molina finds himself in the end zone yet again, and 42 points in this A&M offense. They haven't been met with a lot of resistance so far here tonight.
You know, this Auburn defense gave up 41 points to Ole Miss, and that's an up-tempo offense, but nothing as dynamic as what we've seen here tonight from Texas A&M and Johnny Manziel.
And you see Coach Chiswick there. This is a defensive-minded football coach. He's won national championships as a defensive coordinator. He's a D coordinator here at Auburn. But you can see here clearly, you know, in his tenure, this became more of an offensive-oriented football team. And they've got new coordinators here. And Brian Van Gorder, when he got to Auburn, said, you know, the first thing he said was, wow. What was the wow about? Wow everything. Wow from a talent standpoint, from an effort standpoint. He knew that they really had to ramp up their abilities and their production on the defensive side of the ball. And you can see here tonight already demonstrated a lot of work yet to do. The way A&M has made them look so far tonight.
Bertolette, the kickoff, and yet another touchback. That's the 5th touchback for Bertolette as we take a look at the quest for the coach's trophy. Our day in the SEC. Missouri, its first SEC win. South Carolina beat Tennessee, but they lost Marcus Lattimore. Another knee injury taking the star off the field. Ole Miss, a win over Arkansas. How about the win for Georgia? They're still in the hunt for the SEC East title. Looks like Vanderbilt's going to get win number 4 on the year. At least they're out to a good start. And Mississippi State and Alabama ready to start. Kyle Frazier is still in at quarterback. Clint Mosley got the start, but nicked up early in this game. Frazier to throw. Behind the receiver, tipped up in the air and incomplete. Nearly intercepted. Let's go to Allison.
Well, guys, usually when the Auburn defensive unit would come off the field and onto the sideline, guys were yelling at one another, loud, trying to stay motivated, keep each other up, and now they just kind of seem dejected. Everybody's pretty quiet. Nobody's saying a whole lot, and they seem like they're a bit defeated over here defensively on the defensive benches for Auburn.
You know, we saw the Tennessee Volunteers really play hard today against South Carolina for their coach, Derek Dooley, and I know that these Auburn Tigers want to play hard for Gene Chiswick, but they are just overmatched tonight.
It looks that way so far tonight. You wonder if they're borderline shell-shocked on defense with the way A&M has worked their way down. You see, there's a half to play. Here's an opportunity for this offense, Kyle Frazier, to operate in the 2-minute drill. Gene Chizik and the staff still coaching. They got a big mountain to climb.
After the catch by Stallworth, 3rd down, pass, again incomplete. That was intended again for Stallworth, so now it's 4th down. And Frazier's going to jog over toward the sideline. I'm going to bring the punting unit up.
In visiting with Mark Snyder, we brought up the fact A&M, they haven't generated any turnovers the past 2 weeks. He said, look, 3 and out is almost as good as a turnover. Now you forfeit some field position. You got to keep in mind, A&M's got a pretty good punt return unit, a good punt returner in Dustin Harris. But 3 and out, it's almost like a turnover because it's so quick. And now this Auburn defense is going to find itself back on the football field.
Dustin Harris called for the fair catch. It's knocked down. It can be dead at the 30-yard line. A 30-yard punt from Clark. 4th 3 and out for Auburn's offense tonight, and they turn it right back over to Johnny Football, who has been exceptional here in the first half. Johnny Manziel, and you mentioned it earlier, we don't even know what his voice sounds like because Kevin Sumlin keeps all first-year players, whether they're a transfer or a freshman, away from the media. Do you like that philosophy?
You know what? If it works for you, go ahead. I didn't have that problem as an offensive lineman. Nobody wanted to talk to me. You don't have to run from anybody.
A problem that continues today, actually. 45 seconds to go before halftime. Manziel unloads. Mike Evans can't make the catch. To Sharvin Bell, the coverage there, 2nd down. Manziel, a high school legend out of Kerrville, Texas, originally committed to Oregon before A&M offered, and he was very happy to accept the offer and play closer to home. As there's some movement on that left side.
Dead ball, false start, 51 offense, 5 penalty, still 2nd down.
Jarvis Harrison called for the motion. This is Manziel, Tivy High School in Texas, Kerrville, Texas, over 3,600 yards passing and 45 touchdowns his senior year. He also had over 1,600 yards rushing and 30 touchdowns. 75 touchdowns he was responsible for as a senior. Evans, the catch. It's easy to understand why he was a legend.
Yeah, how could you
Texas.
not be? It's almost, how many games was he allowed to play on Friday nights in Texas to generate those numbers? Was that just in 4 quarters a week? It's unbelievable.
And he beat out 3 other quarterbacks to win the starting job at Texas A&M this August. As the Aggies call a timeout with 20 seconds to go in a 3rd and 1 coming up. Jameel Showers, the only quarterback in camp for Cliff Kingsbury who had any playing experience. And remember, Kingsbury, coming over with the Sumlin coaching staff, getting to know these guys, and didn't really know Showers. And then Matt Jokel, the twin brother of Luke, also in the mix to be the starter. But Manziel, his ability to extend plays won him the job in camp.
Yeah, you think about it. It's a brand new system. They knew that they had what could be a very physical offensive front. You see, even here tonight, what Johnny Manziel can do to most defenses, and really the contrast and really the importance of the quarterback position, something that we talked about coming into this game. Clint Mosley seemingly not going to return to this ball game for Auburn, but both of these teams had to pick somebody at quarterback. A&M certainly chose wisely, but they were blessed with a tremendous talent already on their roster in Johnny Manziel.
Molina. Could be the last play here of the first half. We'll see what kind of adjustments Auburn makes. At halftime, we expect they'll continue to play hard here tonight, but it has been a tough Saturday night so far. Evans wide open along the sideline. Big play. And he gets it down to the 30-yard line. A 29-yard reception for Evans, who's having a great first half. That's his 5th catch. And they move fast. Going to get another playoff here. Play fake. Manziel incomplete. Still 2 seconds to go, and they're going to get a field goal attempt here. The kicker for Texas A&M, Taylor Bertolette, has been causing Kevin Sumlin to break out in hives lately. Missed 2 key field goals last week and an extra point, but he also hit from 50 yards.
Yeah, you know, just when we thought that was maybe going to be the last play of the half that they're going to play to go into the locker room, I think Kevin Sumlin said, here's an opportunity to get my kicker another key rep going into half. Another shot at a field goal to redeem himself.
From 48 yards. Boy, plenty of leg, but it's wide. So Texas A&M tries to tack on 3 more, can't do it. Most points allowed in a game by Auburn this season, and we're only at halftime. 42-7, Texas A&M.
You see Bertolette, Kevin Sumlin likened it to a golfer's game. You know, he's got to maybe make a few tweaks here and there, gain some confidence. Missed 2 last week, hit a long one, as you said, but another game rep. You can't simulate that in practice. That might come in handy down the line.
Kevin Sumlin's team on its way to becoming bowl eligible. 42-7 at the half. Now Matt, Jason, and Charles in the studio.
Welcome into halftime. I am Matt Schick along with Charles Arbuck. We have some good stat people here. Here's a stat for you. Auburn, the 4th SEC team in the last 9 years to allow 42 or more points in the first half of a conference game. The other 3 were Kentucky. Not a good season, not a good game for Auburn.
Not at all, and Matt Stinchcomb said it best. It looked like Auburn thought it was a scrimmage, and A&M said, no, we're going to take you to the woodshed if you don't play football. And it is bad for Auburn, and it's gotten worse. You thought they would play better this week. Got to play better than this in the second half.
Being outgained 464 to 91 in total yards. That'll paint the picture for you. How about Florida and Georgia? Battle for that driver's seat of the SEC East. Will Muschamp gearing up for the game. Jeff Driscoll, first drive. Sign of things to come here.
Yeah, pressure off the edge. When you have guys coming with the blitz and you don't pick them up, this is one of those things that they knew was going to happen.
Jarvis Jones recovers it, then 3 plays later, Todd Gurley. Good to get Gershel going, Gurley specifically.
Todd Gurley ran hard, 4.4 yards per carry today, 1 touchdown.
Later in the quarter, Aaron Murray. 3 picks on the day for Murray, this one from near on ball.
Murray did not play well at all, and the Georgia team still kept fighting and not allowing Florida to get the points off the turnover.
This was about as sloppy a game as you'll see all season. And here, Florida flagged for an illegal substitution. Muschamp.
That's the dad at the mall who's mad at his little kid for trying to run away from him. Come here, son. Come here.
Good thing the volume was down. 16 seconds to go in the half. Florida down 1. Driscoll picked and a chance to take the lead.
Awful throw also. Bakari Rambo sees that veteran guy there coming over. Driscoll throwing against his body. You can't make that mistake there.
All right, let's go to the second half. It's 7-6. Third quarter, Driscoll hit as he throws. Damian Swann, just a rough day for Driscoll.
You know, even when Georgia didn't sack him, they were always around him, touching him, making him know that they were there. And that's why those balls go where they did.
So they get a field goal. They're up 10-6. Then next possession, Trey Burton fumbles. Jarvis Jones again, Florida's 5th turnover of the game.
That happened to him earlier in the game. Driscoll not with the secure, giving the ball away.
There's that man again.
Oh, yeah, he was all over the field making plays.
Fourth quarter, Georgia up 10-9. Murray to Malcolm Mitchell, 45 yards.
Defensive back in position. He got hit 4 times. Nobody brought him down. Malcolm Mitchell, great run after the catch.
Well, Georgia up 17-9. Florida's ensuing drive, just a little over 2 minutes to go. They need 8 points. Driscoll to Jordan Reed. Jarvis Jones strips him.
Great hustle play. If you're a young kid, watch right there. Always follow the football. You can make big plays.
Florida's first loss. Georgia controlling its destiny on their way to Atlanta. How about this? That's the head ball coach.
That's kind of scary.
It was very scary. Second quarter, this is scary. First this, Marcus Lattimore, 28 yards for the touchdown. His 41st career touchdown, adding to his school record. And then second quarter, Lattimore. This is just awful.
Yeah, Marcus Lattimore, just an ugly, ugly injury for him. And
turn away if you're squeamish.
Yeah, I mean, and he's just running the football, and This is a football play.
He's on the field for 7 minutes. Both teams would go on the field. And Lattimore and his mother embraced for about 5 minutes as he came off the field.
This was the best sign, though. Not only all the South Carolina team and everybody else, but the Tennessee folks coming over.
It just shows what kind of guy he is. He's very respected in the game. Of course, nursed that rehab from that left knee injury. This is a right knee injury. Taken by ambulance to a hospital for further evaluation. Out indefinitely. Back to the action, third quarter. The game continued. Tyler Bray actually had a good game.
He really did. Threw the ball very well after he got going. And they did a good job protecting him from Jadeveon Clowney early.
They're down 28-21. And Connor Shaw accounted for 4 of the 5 touchdowns on the day. Ace Sanders.
Always, if you need a big play, just call Ace.
South Carolina up 3, and then Bray. There's that Jadeveon Clowney.
Yes, they have blocked him well all through the game, and the one play you lack focus as an offensive tackle, he finds a way to get the sack.
So Tennessee now 0-5 in the SEC. Their 3rd straight year they've begun 0-5 in the SEC. South Carolina picks up their 5th conference win, but after the game, here's the head ball coach.
Yeah, obviously Marcus has got a severe knee injury, but we'll let the doctors, tell you exactly what all it is later on. But I mean, he's such a good young man. Good things are going to happen for Marcus. I don't know exactly where and how, but good things will happen for Marcus Lattimore. He had a heck of a game going too. And, at halftime I said, best thing we can do is win this game and give Marcus the game ball, which we did. I gave it to our team chaplain. I said, give this one to Marcus. And so that's what we needed to do, was win the game and get him the game ball, and then we have to move on from here.
Yeah, it's a nice win for South Carolina. They've won without Lattimore before. Last year, 5-1 without. They're going to have to do it again. But just devastating for this program. Such a fine young man.
Yeah, and I think the biggest difference also, too, is that they had Alshon Jeffrey and some other weapons to take off the load. But it's not just so much about a player. I think the love that these folks have for Marcus Lattimore. Jadeveon Clowney said last night in a team meeting, Marcus Lattimore said, act like every player is your last. And I think when you hear that as a player, you sometimes say no, but that really is true. And I think that's why these guys rallied around him. That's why there's so much love for Marcus Lattimore, because how hard he worked to come back from the last injury. And I think when you see that, sincerely, that's goosebumps on the back of your spine, thinking about what those people think about Marcus Lattimore and how they feel about it.
As emotional a scene as you'll see in college football, especially with what kind of kid, man he is there for South Carolina. We wish him the very best. Coming up, there's a top 10 tussle in Norman going on. Well, they have. We'll show you how coming up.
Tired of faded bumpers, foggy headlights, weathered, sun-damaged vehicles? You've spent time and money applying product again and again to hide those embarrassing parts on your car, only to have that work fade away. Not anymore. Introducing Wipe New, the world's longest-lasting solution for restoring and protecting your vehicle. And we guarantee it to last for years. Just apply Wipe New once. It's quick and easy to do. Just one swipe and watch your car turn showroom new.
I've been a professional auto detailer for 30 years. Now I restore faded plastic rather than just clean it. And I do it in no time at all. I apply Wipe New to bumpers, side panels, even dashes and interior plastic. Simply apply it once and it lasts for years. Wipe New is the most revolutionary car care product that I've used in my entire detailing career.
We applied Wipe New to the driver's side of this vehicle. We then sent this car through over 100 powerful car washes. Wipe New never faded or washed away, proving that the results will last for years of real-world environmental exposure.
I don't think I've ever seen it, Brandon. I got it about 2 years old, and I've never seen it shine like this.
And we guarantee it to last for years. Use it on bumpers, decorative outside panels, side view mirrors, even vinyl or leather car seats for a protected showroom new shine. Don't spend a fortune on temporary fixes. Order the revolutionary Wipe New for only $19.99. But wait, order now and we'll double the size. That's enough for 2 cars. There's still more. Order now and get the Pro Detailing Kit with the headlight applicator bonus. Just pay separate shipping and processing. That's right, Wipe New restores your headlights too. Order now and get it all, plus a 2-year guarantee.
A $50 value for only $19.99. Order now.
To get your Wipe New detailing kit, call 1-800-670-7156. Wipe New comes with a 2-year money-back guarantee and is not available in stores. So call 1-800-670-7156 and order today.
Long night at Jordan-Hare for the Tigers. Ryan Swope having a great night. 5 catches, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns. A&M up big on Auburn, 42-7 at the half. Top 10 matchup in Norman. Notre Dame and Oklahoma, and eventually Notre Dame's going to have to maybe get in a scoring contest. Maybe not so much this game yet, but Sierra Wood getting it done.
Look at that offensive line. Everybody was blocked up to the 3rd level as well. Kyle Eford had a great block on Jefferson. That allowed him to get the ball, go down, and score.
62-yard run up 7-3. They are now beginning the second quarter. USC and Arizona. USC has won 9 of the last 10 meetings. Matt Barkley's pass off of Marquise Lee's hands. One of the few passes to go off his hands.
Yeah, he caught so many passes. I guess he had to let one go on that one. Great play by Arizona, turnover there.
Ensuing Arizona drive, Matt Scott. What a day for Matt Scott. Hits Johnny Jackson.
Nice pass in the middle of the field where they're vulnerable. Cover 2, which they like to play. Good throw by Matt Scott.
And Matt Barkley to Marquise Lee. This was a pattern on the day. Lee with 255 receiving yards in the first half.
Like the other guys were running in slow motion and he was in fast motion.
Third quarter. 21-13. Barkley to Lee again. Lee, 345 receiving yards in the game, a Pac-12 single-game record.
And he made it look so easy. These two guys have worked so well together, and we forget they also have Robert Woods, who can also make plays.
Fourth quarter, Arizona up 4, and Matt Scott to David Richards. They're up 39-28. Scott with 469 total yards of offense. Fourth quarter, here we go. Silas Redd, he's in. So USC, after the 2-point conversion, down 3. 40 seconds left. USC ball. Barkley to Lee to the 41.
No timeouts here. You would think that they would clock somewhere along the line to allow their field goal kicker to get in place. They don't. They just go and snap. Another completion.
Yep, tick, tick, tick. This one to Silas Redd. Barkley trying to get his team going.
And this is where I really thought that they would spike it to make sure they have a chance. Now, they go 2 low percentage passes. 15 to 20% is where you hit this. That one doesn't work. So you only have one other opportunity now.
All you need is a field goal to tie. They throw 2 deep balls, and this one a Hail Mary, and God doesn't have front row seats today.
And I question this because in college football, when you get a first down, they will reset. That allows you to get the spike and then also give your field goal team a chance to come on, or a lot of different things.
39-36, Arizona with the big win. Johnny Manziel, 300 yards of total offense, 4 touchdowns, 2 on the ground, 2 through the air. A&M up big at the half.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
EA Sports FIFA Soccer 13 is here. Now you can get it free with your paid order of Sports Illustrated. Through this special offer, you can get EA Sports FIFA Soccer 13 free. Call or go online now to sitvoffer.com. Get EA Sports FIFA Soccer 13 free with your paid order. And there's a bonus. You'll get the making of EA Sports FIFA Soccer 13 DVD. Get an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at how the most popular sports game on the planet is made. This package is available only with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated. These items at retail would cost over $200, but through this amazing offer, just $49.95 gets you all this. 28 issues of Sports Illustrated, EA Sports FIFA Soccer 13, and the bonus DVD. Order now and your shipping will be free. Don't miss out. Go online to sitvoffer.com or call now.
It's the cornerstone of athletic success, passed down from generation to generation, taught by example and learned by practice. It's how we respond to challenge and opportunity, how we celebrate victory and bounce back from defeat. On every field in the SEC, we play to win, but treat each other with respect. Sportsmanship. Own it, live it, pass it on.
Monday, it's a battle for the top spot in the NFC West. Patrick Willis leads the league's top-ranked defense against Larry Fitzgerald and the Cards. Monday Night Football, 49ers, Cardinals, 8:30 on ESPN. It all comes down to Monday night.
Texas Tech, Tommy Tuberville, the giant killer, taking on Kansas State. They've beaten West Virginia this year, so has Kansas State. And Kansas State's very good. Optimus Klein to Tremaine Thompson, extending the lead. They were up 13-10 at the time.
You know, he makes plays now, not only with his legs, but his arm, and you can see it there.
And Klein with his feet.
Just so effective with that zone read. Any little opening, he will take it and run with it.
What were you saying?
Delayed run. It's almost like the old option days. He waits, he lets his blockers get there, and he's able to go for another touchdown.
Seth Dagey, 13 touchdowns in his previous 2 games. This one is a touchdown the other way. Arthur Brown, the pick 6. Kansas State, 55-24. They are now 8-0 for the first time since 1999. Here's a few other undefeateds coming into the day. Ohio State looks like they'll stay that way, although Penn State adding a score there. How about Rutgers dropping to Kent State?
Could not believe it. Could not believe that the Flashes, the Golden Flashes, could do that.
And then Ohio. We'll have to see that finish. We'll show it to you later on tonight as Ohio loses their first game. Manziel, boy, A&M outgaining them big time and shutting them down in the first half.
Division I student athletes have higher SAT and ACT scores than college-bound students.
The number of us receiving diplomas
is at an all-time high.
African-American males who are student athletes
are 10% more likely to graduate.
Still think we're just a bunch of dumb jocks?
You need to do your homework.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
It's what people think of when they think of Auburn University.
It's how we greet each other.
War Eagle.
War Eagle.
War Eagle.
War Eagle.
It's how we congratulate our graduates and celebrate accomplishments in the classroom, research endeavors, and service to the world. It's our battle cry, cheer, and fight song. It's a phrase heard around the globe for those faithful to orange and blue. Most importantly, it's what connects us as a family, the Auburn family.
You're welcome.
And there's nothing else like it.
Varsity Fest returns to Varsity Ford Lincoln with huge savings on every Ford in stock. Come into Varsity today and see why you should be driving the #1 selling brand in America, Ford. Get a 2012 Expedition for over $9,000 off MSRP or with 0% APR financing for 60 months. Celebrate the savings with a 2013 Ford Focus for as little as $14,806. Varsity Fest, only at Varsity Ford Lincoln, home of the #1 selling brand in America, on the bypass or online at varsityflm.com.
Nobody delivers more love for less than Sterling Subaru. At Sterling Subaru, we love selling Subarus for less. And we love giving top dollar for your trade. And at Sterling Subaru, 0 down delivers. That's right. We would love you to sign your name and drive away with absolutely 0 out of pocket. Plus, 0.9 APR is available on select models. Get $3,000 off MSRP on select 2012 Outbacks. Now that's what we call love. It's the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Only at Sterling Subaru.
Could Alabama get a test tonight, taking on unbeaten Mississippi State? The Bulldogs' best start since 1999. Dan Mullen has them believing and playing well.
He really does, but when you have a big offensive line like Alabama, big tight ends blocking, it makes it so much easier for T.J. Yeldon.
He gets in for the touchdown. Mississippi State now on the plus side of the field as they are driving as well. Here's other action in the SEC. Vandy went up easily at the half. Ole Miss takes out Arkansas today.
Bo Wallace doing his thing down there, and Tyler Wilson trying to make some plays. 2 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions as well.
And Missouri picks up its first ever SEC win, doing it at home against Kentucky. And right now, Mississippi State, they are at the 45-yard line, just got a first down on Alabama. Johnny Manziel, 300 yards of total offense in the first half. Auburn